Restaurant 303 Jefferson hasn't been open long in Clinton.
It's like the police caught them in the restaurant.
But patrons were still talking about what happened Monday morning.
What did they do, break the door? No, the window.
We busted the window.
This is what surveillance cameras captured just before 4 Monday morning. The alarms went off, the cameras were rolling.
Quite honestly, I was thinking, the worst, vandals or kids vandalizing, I was going to come into a big mess.
A shirtless, shoeless guy who was determined to get inside. In the patio, he smashes the window to the door. He grabs a fire extinguisher.
Looks like he's trying to, but I don't think he can get it to work.
Once inside the restaurant, he grabs a few beers, throws a few chairs, even posters off the wall. He had plenty of time to get in and out, but lingered around just a little too long. As he exits the back door, police are there to greet him and throw the cuffs on him.
Suffice to say, the geography of this crime leaves a lot of questions. It is across the street from City Hall. And oh, by the way, the restaurant is also next door to the mayor's house.
I would think the further away from the police station, the better off you are. But
the mayor and police are trying to get to the bottom of this break-in and learn more about the suspect, identified as 33-year-old Gordon Edward Jensen. Police charged him with commercial burglary.
My goal while I'm in office is to just let the criminals know you don't want to come here.
Police station's right there right now.
The police station's where?
It is the subject of table fodder at the Clinton restaurant while police pursue the case against the suspect who didn't believe in the policy, no shirt, no shoes, no service. In Clinton, Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
Evelyn Mendez says she and her family hid in their rooms for what seemed like forever early Saturday morning. 7 intruders held them captive at gunpoint.
2 hours, 3 hours on, we were just scared, we was crying, everybody.
She says the men ransacked the home. They were looking for money, all the while making the victims get on the ground. Then she says they tried to grope her family members.
They tried to touch my sister and my aunt because she was underwear. They touched everything.
And they were throwing eggs at your head.
In the head and in our face.
Her brother, Ever Mendez, says he was trembling as the men put guns to his head.
¿Qué pensaba?
Tenía miedo. Sí tenía, mi cuerpo temblaba. Así. Tenía mucho miedo.
The family says the men made themselves at home as they waited and worried.
They watched TV, they drank juice, they did everything here.
Mendez says they waited till the men drove off with 3 vehicles stolen from the home before deciding the coast was clear.
We hear that truck was in that traffic light, we just say they're gone, so we called the police.
Now they're installing safety lights and security cameras and even considering getting a gun to guard themselves. In Jackson, Erin Kelly, 16 WAPT News.
I miss him. It's my boy. That is my boy. He's, when she had him, it's been like, he's always been here.
Barbara Jones wears the worry on her face. She hasn't seen her grandson, 20-year-old Darius Brent, in more than 3 weeks. Wednesday morning, Jackson police found a body under a home in the neighborhood where friends say they last saw Brent.
You can't grieve because you're still hoping, but hopefully this will give us some closure.
Police have not identified the badly decomposed body they found off of Deer Park Street. They were searching the neighborhood for Brent, who last called home July 8th.
It was a strong stench in the area of Deer Park Street, which alarmed the detectives along with the officers to this residence.
Brent's mother has been asking neighbors what happened to her son.
They said that it was a shooting over on Central and Rose Street, and they saw when people, they were shooting, they saw a body fall and get picked up and carried away.
We first talked to the family last week when they held a church vigil for Brent.
He has a little son, too, that's questioning you every day about when is my father going to come home.
Brent's mother says she's preparing herself for the worst.
Everything that's pointing, all the leads, everything we've heard leads right there. So I just wanted everybody to know that he had a family that loved him dearly.
I just want the public to know we love Darius. We still love him. And if it turns out that this is him, then we'll just do what we need to do to make sure that he's properly taken care of.
In Jackson, Erin Kelly, 16 WAPT News.
Memorial Day is always a holiday that opens up waterways all across the state.
The boaters are back on the res this summer, and with them, the people patrolling to keep everyone safe.
Last year, we actually had a death on the water. The Memorial Day, the year before, we actually had 3.
So far, Lieutenant Randy Newell of Wildlife and Fisheries says most boaters have been on their best behavior. Officers have been checking.
We're checking for boat registration.
And life jackets for all aboard.
Golly. That's what it's all about. You a good mama.
And they're making sure no one is driving drunk.
Inexperience, the heat, and alcohol. You mix those 3 components together and it's a recipe for a deadly disaster.
Boaters say it's a small thing they can do to keep all 33,000 acres of water safe.
Sure, I have everything, like they were checking the life vest, throwables, fire extinguishers, make sure everything, the boat's seaworthy. It's just a time to relax, have fun with the family and friends, and remember those that, like I say, passed on before us.
If the people stay as safe as they've been the last 2 days tomorrow, we're going to be okay. I don't want to jinx it, but this weekend's been awesome, man.
At the reservoir, Erin Kelly, 16 WAPT News.
I like it. I'm in with you.
Greg, there it is. That's our offer. What do you say?
Got an offer. What are you going to do?
I agree. We will accept the deal.
Lori, Robert, let's do the deal.
All right.
And just like that, Stephen Cochise and Greg Cronin, 2 men from Mississippi, went from trying to survive the sharks to swimming with them.
It's awesome!
The pitch was filmed back in September, meaning the pair had to keep their excitement under wraps for nearly 5 months.
At first it was very, very tough, but as time went on, daily life took over and it was pretty easy.
The duo sold 50% of their homemade locker organizer company, Locker Bones.
He told us, you're going to get a big bump tonight when this airs, whether you get a deal or not.
Only minutes after making a deal with Lori and Robert, their website crashed with over 1 million people logging on. And despite becoming a nationwide sensation overnight, they're hoping to keep production right here in Mississippi.
That's our dream. We would like to add more jobs to the economy of Mississippi.
So we've had local people jump in and be a part of this whole process. So it's really been cool to drive around the city, meeting with people to bring this dream together and see that every resource you need to take a product to the national market and to the world is right here in Jackson, Mississippi.
Now they go from small fish to big sharks of their own. From Ridgeland, Mike Perchik, 16 WAPT News.
The members of Eagle Lake Baptist Church looking to find a new home. This is what was left behind. Members say they're thankful that the fire happened in between morning and evening services, the one part of the day when the building is empty.
This occurred right at the height of just a horrific thunderstorm. All indications are that this may be storm related, and it's just a tragic loss for the community.
God's apparently got a different plan for us. We've been growing so much, so maybe we just need to expand our laws a different way.
Church leaders say they have insurance, but it might not be enough to cover everything that they've lost. But they say they've already received calls about donations. In Eagle Lake, Erin Kelly, 16 WAPT News.
Downtown Jackson got drenched Wednesday after the city says work crews struck a water main. The water soared several stories high. One attempt to get it under control made it worse. That's when we decided we were too close. The city says contractors had been digging up sidewalk as part of a project to make Capitol Street traffic two-way.
They hit a 12-inch water line that was pretty close to the bottom of the sidewalk, and that kind of sent the water up in the air. The key thing was to get the water cut off, and we can't just up and turn it off. A lot of the buildings around here are water cooled.
The gushing stopped an hour and a half later when crews capped the pipe.
What's being done to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Most of the water lines are actually a lot deeper than this. The water line here is sitting on top of the 1899 Town Creek Bridge.
Now crews are cleaning up the street, hoping they're not hit with any more high water.
In Jackson, Erin Kelly, 16 WAPT News.